Alright. Hello. Howdy. Hello, David. How are you? We have quite a few things we can do today. If you don't remember last stream, we were getting the weapon switching working. I'm still not like 100% happy with it, but it's better than what we had before. I've also been thinking about making it so only the weapon pullout is affected by the mass of the weapon, and just making it so putting away is always like really, really quick. Because it's a little janky when, like, if you have a dagger in a rocket launcher, like, it makes sense that the rocket launcher takes forever to put out and put away, but it's not quite like the instant secondary you kind of want. I don't know, maybe it makes sense. That's interesting. I definitely just saw that particle spawn at the wrong position. Oh well. Whatever. Let me have a look at some other stuff. I was also thinking we could work on like a flamethrower. It could be fun. I might do that. That might be fun. What do you think? Like a flamethrower. Hey, Donut. I feel like I should be at the gym. I always listen to Delentry at the gym. Sounds fun. I think it could be fun. I just want to see how this feels, basically. Why not code and work out? Whoa. Can't really do leg presses in my house. A little difficult. It just basically means that like switching away is really quick, and pulling out is like the slow bit. Which might feel better. Definitely just saw an extra bullet spawn. I've been seeing it a lot recently, actually. I think that's just a bug with the weapon timer. Anyway. This is what I was interested in. Like, if you're running around with a rocket launcher, like, bam, you have a knife. You know? That's kind of, like, the balanced decision, I thought. Like, if your secondary is a knife, it's basically instant to pull it out. Whereas if it's a rocket launcher, it takes a minute. And, like, with this in mind, I could make it really slow to pull out the rocket launcher. I just thought it was interesting, like an interesting idea. The controller arrived. Oh, hell yeah. I just think it's a bit less annoying to have like your secondary pull out pretty quick. I don't know. Overall, it's obviously significantly, what's the word? Decreasing the time it takes to switch, but I could just increase the base, you know? I should definitely move this stuff out of this header file. Having to recompile everything that includes components is a bit of a pain. What did you get again? Steam controller. I watched a video about it the other day. It looks cool. This might be a bit more reasonable. Backpack mode. Yeah. Let's make a flamethrower. It puts it to sleep and it doesn't turn back on until you hold on all the back buttons. Oh, nice. So, like, it doesn't go off in your backpack. It doesn't just have an off button. I guess mine doesn't have an off button. I mean, you turn it on. Might turn my one on by just holding the, like, middle button, I guess. Flamethrower. What do they normally look like? I don't know what the TF2 one really looks like. Oh. Like a garden hose with 2 handles. Yeah. Wow. Get that out of my stream. Nah, just kidding. Let's put this up here. I don't want you guys getting distracted. Makes the sequence to turn on again more difficult by accident. Oh yeah. They all seem to be facing left. I wonder why that is. You've seen it do the scream when it falls. I haven't seen the scream it does when it falls. I watched a video about a guy talking about if they liked it or not. Don't make a dick. Don't make a dick and balls. I guess it would be a blue flame, wouldn't it? If it's proper good propane. Can you hear the music okay? If Warhammer's taught me anything, it's that dangerous things have hazard stripes. Elon Musk's candle layer. Hey, what's up with that? This thing. The board. Yeah, it's kind of weird, isn't it? All that power in the world, and he chooses to screw up the Google search results with Flamethrower. This dark blue is a really weird color to have in the palette, considering it's so close to the actual blue. Or considering it's so close to black. Hmm. Oh, it's like a little dragon. Hang on, actually, maybe that's cool. Like some sort of dragon's fury. I mistook. Where's Donut? He's up there. There's a chunky handle. Well, this isn't the handle. This is the... You put your arm here. Like that. I think it looks like a chunky handle. I guess really you'd hold it like here and here. I was thinking you'd brace your arm against something. Would you put your hand around? Your hand goes in here. You'd be like this. Yeah, maybe it doesn't make sense. Free floating? I don't know. None of these weapons really make much sense. Yeah, we're gonna make Flamethrower. They mostly do. They make okay sense, I guess. You made a flamethrower when you made the knife work. Did I? Obviously blue makes the most sense for the fire, but like technically you could make it like a dirty fire. I feel like this makes less sense there. Also, fire was the other way around, isn't it? Need to remember that. It gets colder the further away from the heat source. So it'd be more like this. That being said, this is just gas. This isn't necessarily the heat source. I guess there would be a pilot light in. This is. I've attached the pilot light in here. I guess this is meant to be the pilot light. Which I think would be invisible usually, but then when you shoot the gun, maybe it spawns a pilot light. I don't know. They don't tend to have a pilot light to begin with. Yeah, but the tier 2 one does, which is my main source of truth for these things. Which also makes no sense, design-wise. Right. I don't really know what this bit's meant to be, but it looks cool. Whatever it is. Yeah, I'm not really sure what this bit is, but it's cool. I like checkerboards. I guess it doesn't have to be anything. M2 Flamethrower. Oh, the World War II one. Yeah, I mean this is the classic one from media, I guess. This sort of thing. Yeah, I'm kind of making a special one. Maybe this looks a little better. Do one of those silly little trails that the TF2 one has. Yeah, it's kind of annoying to use blue for the actual thing of the gun, because then it makes it harder to tell that this bit here is also meant to be flame. To be thrown. I guess I could make the main thing a different color, but... well actually that does look quite a bit better, minus the blue flame. The green flame. Yeah, maybe green is good. I was going with blue just because the other guns had kind of like a blue theme to it, but maybe this makes the most sense. I could also make this top bit grey, but I think it's interesting to use different colors. Certainly less exciting, I think. I don't know. It's more metallic, I guess. I don't know what the sticky outy bit's meant to be, I just thought it looked fun. If you're wondering. Not them. Yeah, I don't know, I find it kind of fun to have a silly green one. Probably have more colors in my palette. Also make it pink. You have a pink flamethrower. The green one looks good. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty military-ish, I guess. The pink one doesn't make a lot of sense. But pink's a nice color, you know. I think it's gonna shoot slime or something, doesn't it? Let's just stick with green for now. Flamethrower. We can obviously redesign it as we improve the pixel art. Maybe it blends in too much. Yeah, maybe. I just need to add more colors to my scheme, maybe. Or just make it this color. Yeah, the yellow tank does make it stand out. No, I kind of like the gold, weird gold one, actually. The golden flamethrower. Who knows why it's got this checker pattern on the back? I don't. Certainly makes it look hotter, doesn't it? Weird. Hmm. What do you think is... Hello. Hmm. I'm accidentally making it pretty big. Am I doing C++ right now? This looks pretty pixel arty. How much do you invest in C++? I don't know. A decade? What do I prefer? I'd recommend a formal education at a university. And then working in the industry for a few years. I don't know any better ways. Nah, just kidding. You can do some personal projects. Just code and you will get better at coding. As long as you know what you're doing and you're conscious while you're doing your work. You will improve with effort. I don't know, I think the green one was fine. Maybe I'm going somewhere with this orange one, but I think green is really best. Yeah. I'll revisit this at some point. This is fine for now. One of my favourite albums, by the way. If you're wondering. But what am I editing the images with? This is Aspirate. This is a tool called Aspirate. What do you do when the novelty of your project wears off? Do something else for a bit. You're asking how to deal with motivation in a long-term project. It's quite a complicated question. I'm afraid there's no easy answer. Hello, Foamy. Don't ask where the air for the air blast comes from, or how it makes any sense. Or how I'm going to implement it, or if it's even going to exist. I'm using imgui, yeah. There is drag on the character. Have you seen gameplay? You're just watching the... You're just watching Ace Parade, right? Or are you talking about like a VOD you were watching? There's no gameplay on the screen right now. What does fire look like? Vince Fitzgerald, come to my help. That's guitar, thanks. This is one of my favorite albums. I have it on CD, even. I remember from an old stream. Oh yeah, there is physics, but after playing around with it for a bit, yeah, Ancient Flower. I might also have this album. Maybe I do. After playing around with it for a bit, I realized that it's best having like the smallest amount, or I should say the greatest amount of friction. It just feels better in this kind of game to be able to stop on instantly and move around, I think. I can show you if you like. Are you there, Foam? This is another one of my favorite albums. No wonder YouTube's putting it on. I think I have this one. Yeah. Yeah, I do have this on. I have this on CD. It's literally what we're listening to. Akaboshi Rockets. I have the last one too. I have the Demetri album as well. I like things. Are you there, Foam? Yeah, this is the player right now. The Her Detected, yeah. There actually is. You should be able to see it on stream. Watch the X in the top left if you can see it. If I just tap it for a second. See how long it takes to resolve. Alright, mistook. I can just decrease movement force. I can decrease mass. You know, I can have it move like this. You didn't notice? Yeah, because it feels good. Whatever I ended up with, like, looked, like, felt good. Is all I can say. I hate games with floaty controls. Going back to TF2 after playing something like Apex, or even like Overwatch, is weird. Look, I can make you do this. This is kind of annoying. Yeah, you could add slippery stuff. It's just modifying various things, though. There could be ice. Ice would simply reduce the amount of movement force you get when you hit a key. Or just max it out. Off they go. But yeah. Does this look like fire or like a sound wave? I guess I could Google fire. Everyone always draws like fire drawing. Fire particle. Pixel. Pixel art. Okay, I don't want it to really look like any of these. These are all people drawing like literal fires. Because the idea is you're going to shoot, it's not just going to be one thing coming out, it's going to be like loads of these being shot. The fire you made before looked better. Which before? I could also just make it the whole thing. Apex feels too light to you. You think so? I think Apex is the best movement in a shooter. I think it's not even close. I can make SMB1 fireballs, I guess. I think there's too many colors, first of all. I think we need to cut out some of these. Look at the one from Metal Slug. Yeah. I was trying to see if I could just do it, making it up. It's not like drawing from reference is a bad thing. Alright, fine. Metal Slug Fire. None of this is really that suitable. Man, the animations of Metal Slug are incredible. This thing was on the Neo Geo. Fuck no. Yeah, I think I need to keep things light. Ah, the sprite's resource, my beloved. Was there no flamethrower in it? I guess not. Alright, I think I need to keep things very light. And maybe like a little smaller. Need to compensate for input. I don't think about when it make the game balance. I don't know, I think like Apex was made by like some of the best people in the industry. I think they knew what they were doing better than us. That's what I'd like to think, at least. Say what you want about EA, but Respawn. Is it Respawn? Whatever the name of the team is. We've had some amazing talent over the years. That looks okay. Very optimistic of you. I mean, the lead designer worked on like the good COD games and Titanfall and stuff. Like they had some good talent on the team. A little penisy, isn't it? It's so easy to make things penisy. I've discovered. You have music for the game. I don't have music for the game. Not yet. I'm kind of wondering if I can commission like a Toho artist to make the music for the game. I don't know if I could afford it though. You can make music for me. Oh, thank you. Probably can't afford it though. I think. I appreciate the offer though. I'll go with COD as a pick into FPS design. You're really hard to please, aren't you, Donut? Someone could make like some of the best-selling games of all time that like are fondly remembered by millions, and you'd still, it's not good enough. Quite a negative outlook. You hardly know that opinion. Does an opinion being popular make it good? It's a worrying thought. This looks okay. I thought FNAF and Undertale are good games, but they're coded horribly. Are they coded horribly? They don't crash, do they? Do they? The opinion that COD isn't amazing. Oh. True. The dialogue is a huge situation moment. What's wrong with that? I've heard about that, but I still don't see the problem with it. If it worked, it worked. Toby Fox was always more of a writer than a game programmer anyway. Maybe that just worked best for him. This looks okay. I think I shouldn't spend forever on this. It's possible I'll end up completely redrawing it when I realize I want to make them way smaller or something. Ask any Battlefield players. Did that guy also work on Battlefield? I don't remember. I don't know. I kind of don't care. Let's just leave it like this. Judge about that sets. Oh yeah. Alright, I've added a new bullet called Fire. Why am I storing this stuff again? Components? I have a feeling that there will be a Y origin offset on this thing. Maybe not though. I remember correctly, that's basically all it takes to spawn in something new. Let's see if I forgot something. Probably have some switch statement over bullet type, right? Let's find out. Crash. Here we go. I should add this abort in more places. I don't know what kind of muzzle flash it would have. What kind of muzzle flash would you give a flamethrower? Oh, I'm curious what you'll think of the movement in the FPS example. Do you have time to try it later? I don't know. I've got an early start tomorrow. Depends how long. Can't really give it the time of day this evening though. I'm up at like 6 something. Did you end up testing it out the other day, or? I guess I can give it the rocket muzzle flash for now. Tried with a friend, so you know the Windows build works. Cool. You have a Mac build as well. I mean, the sprite looks okay in game. Hello, Flowly. It's even shooting the fire. That's quite funny. Yeah, that muzzle flash is not gonna last. Looks all kind of jank. You've been up for 19 hours. That's not okay. Why? You bought a drawing pad. It's coming tomorrow. Nice. What did you get again? Like an Osu pad? Probably should have the muzzle flash in the JSON file. I'm gonna use the big one for now, just to help me debug where it should be on the weapon. It needs to be up a bit. Maybe left a tiny bit. Make them semi-transparent. Oh yeah, don't worry, we're still in the middle of developing it. Don't worry about that sort of thing. Things are the definition of work in progress. Right, a tiny bit. looks alright. With the mass, it looks kind of silly as it's shooting, doesn't it? I don't know what non-Holman Jason is. I'm not using that. I'm using something Donut made. Some weapons should probably have the ability to turn off the knockback thing, because this does look a little jank. That being said, I could make the flamethrower just work like shooting out a big particle. I guess it wants to be predicted. NX the fire rate. Have a look at it, I guess. Ah, here we go. Perfect. Just as God intended. They seem to be going through walls. That's funny. I call it the frame rate destroyer. Yeah, it's not okay. Now you want me to add range to this stuff now? You're such a Fuwawa, dude. And they have a despawn time. Oh yeah. The library for Jason passing. Oh no, I'm not using that. This one seems dangerous. Does a pretty good job with the mice there. Sufficient. More spread and shorter range. Yep. Maybe I should have used that Jason library. I kind of hate the thing I'm using right now. Pain in the arse. Oh. Anyway, why is it not getting a hit? How do you get the sprite width and height? You're struggling with it. What do you mean? It's no better. Damn. You guys would lose your gourd if you used a modern language, I swear. How do you calculate the sprite width and height in a PNG? For what? I just know the size of the sprite width and height. I don't know what you mean. I don't know what your question is, I should say. I don't really get why they aren't being destroyed on a wall. Oh, my music ended. Listen to some Akaboshi Rockets, maybe. Do they have Sonic Apple Rabbit? I love that song. I love that album. I've also got that. Great album. Moss. Okay. You should get some sleep, dude. You know what could be better about it? Quality of life, I don't know. I don't know who you'd write a better library. Nice how languages with reflection handle it. You will soon just eaten. Fair enough. You're writing an NES emulator for Temple OS. That's cool. I feel like I watched a video on that before. I'm so tired. Why am I so tired? Sorry, are these actually going through a wall because they're going too fast? Or am I looking into something wrong? Why are you going through the wall? Hello, Duck. Why are you on melee swing? Oh. You were just unused. This is ECS, yeah. Yeah. This is ECS. I've been writing a Flamethrower. Come on now, game. I'm sure you can launch. What's wrong, little guy? Wait, melee swing totally did exist. That's concerning. Yeah, I thought the spec was using its own thing. Weird. Just a bug, I guess. This appears to be shooting out razor blades. That's concerning. There's not even a razor blade bullet type. I must have forgotten to export. Actually, maybe not. The UK what? I live in the UK. March here is pretty miserable though. They don't look that fiery, do they? Alright, let's experiment with a few things. You're creating tiles by destroying them. Yeah, do you want me to show off the game? You haven't seen it yet. You can like dig into the wall. Cool. Like rocket launcher and stuff too. The shotgun. Bomb. I will not be doing that, I'm afraid, for me, but that's a nice idea. Yeah, I'm not 100% like set on this fire particle. I think it's a little rubbish, but you know. I tried my best. I don't know. Stuff's hard. I'm using modules. I'm using headers. Yeah, have you played Deep Rock Foam? Deep Rock has mining and stuff. Ooh. Sleepy. Alright, well anyway, let's do some work. So when I'm spawning a bullet, I want to have a... I want to randomize the size of it a little bit. Oh, radius. That's what radius is. That's the bullet size. Okay. Well, anyway. When I'm spawning a bullet... do I have bullet type here? I guess at this point I could do a switch of some kind. What am I working on? I'm adding a flamethrower to my game, so I'm working on that. I'm gonna make the particles have a little bit of randomness to them, which bullets until now haven't had. Maybe I'll have like an on-hit effect where stuff can be struck by fire and it will catch fire, and maybe fire will spread. Maybe I'll do a little damage to walls or something, burn the wall down. It's a thought. Because IRL, flamethrowers, they're really more like petrol guns, right? Like, they like shoot some kind of flammable liquid onto things, which is on fire. Right? They're like pretty horrifying, actually, I think. Less so that they shoot little dots of fire. I think it would make sense for them to like spawn a sticky particle on things that like does damage over time. So there's quite a lot involved with it, actually. And then by implementing this, I'll have implemented a kind of weapon with a bit of randomness to it and spit some damage over time and effects and stuff. So I'm going to add a component to it, I think. On fire or something. I'm going to need to make a component of that thing. I'm going to leave it as on fire and not is on fire because I don't know yet if I will add data to this. How long something is on fire for. Your ECS engine. Nice. What kind of game are you making, Mapdown? So hello, Flame. Sorry. Do I have random in here? Random fire particle modifier. Somewhere between 0.7 and 1.3, maybe. 0.8, 1.2 maybe. I want it to be a real distribution. I do want it to be uniform towards 0. In which case I would have to change how I'm using it. I'll need to add, like, I don't know if it should be a component. Maybe it could be a component. You're making a dungeon crawler hero-based roguelike. Hell yeah. I think we're working on not too dissimilar projects then. I mean, mine's less dungeon crawler, but roguelike where you go through procedural rooms. Hell yeah, buddy. How long have you been working on it? Bullet lifetime needs to be way smaller. Yeah. I've already extracted this to its own thing, that's so handy. So I do actually already have a range thing built in. That's nice. I guess I was using that for the knife before, which makes sense. It's really nice when you can reuse stuff that you've written before, like the shorter lifespan on the knife. Listen to you in an attempt to make a clear but small JSON parser because you don't want to go big scope. A great job on the engine. Thank you, Flowly. Good luck, buddy. Make sure to get rest. You started 5 years ago. You've not been dedicated and committed, but you started a month ago learning Vulkan and C++ and working towards making the game. Oh shit, you've got game design documents? Nice. Designing characters, everything on paper, up to you to develop it. Oh, that's cool. I've been a lazy ass and I've just been... I mean, I've got... not official stuff, but like I've got like notepads of like notes and comments and stuff, but like it's not an official document. And like prelos and things, but having a proper GDD is very cool. Did you follow a template or what? I don't know how standardized they are. My knowledge of GDDs was that it's normally something you'd show to like a publisher or something, right? Or a distributor to market your game on paper. So I'm wondering if there's like a standardized structure for it. I think it's okay if it goes a bit over one. Wait, it's the other way around. I don't know how much this is going to adjust things, but we'll see. These can be a trap. It's easy to get bogged down in details that will change as you playtest. Yeah, but I mean, I think having a general idea before you start working isn't a terrible idea. You're going to go sleep now. Good night, dude. You have a good night too. You have everything, all art and game loop and graphic style. You use Pirate Software's GDD. Pirate Software's GDD. Software. Controversy, drama, dad. Okay, Google. GDD. Is it develop.games? It's just a list of making games. Where's the GDD bit? Maybe under designing your game. GDD. Ah, here's a Google Doc for it. Okay. Yeah, I see. This is a bit much for my silly indie game, but I think that's nice. I could imagine having something like this in advance is really good if you're able to plan that far ahead, but I'm kind of enjoying going as I'm going. I have tried to be better about noting down my thoughts as I go along. The game just seems to change styles so often. Did I... Ah. You can't know what these things are. You only put in things that aren't going to change. Oh. There's arguments for both things. As it is now, like mine benefits from fluidity, but I could imagine plenty of developers who aren't looking for that. This is looking pretty cool. Right, let's lower the radius on it a little bit. Make the spread way less. And the life can be a little longer. Do you have plans on getting a you have plans on getting like a publisher or something with your game? Or is it purely for personal use, the design document? Once you have a vertical slice and a playable demo. Cool. Will you share it with me once you've got like a public demo going? Be able to have a look. Look at this air blast. It doesn't do anything, by the way. It is there. Obviously it does not do anything, but it's funny. I feel like a flamethrower should be a really close range thing. This is from scratch, but I am using... Look in the description. There's an FAQ. It's very early in development. He's saying that you've been working on it on and off for 5 years or something, right? Was most of that spent on getting the design document and stuff working? Question mark. Not really sure if the scale thing's working. It's hard to tell if any of them are a bit bigger or smaller than the other. Oh, actually no, I'm not, am I? No, I should be. Hang on. I just set this to like 20, we should see giant particles. Pretty much what's left is development. Working like getting in the way. Is that not most of the work? Or because you've got it all settled down, do you think you can crack through it pretty quick? Yeah, the scale's clearly not working. Something is modifying the scale elsewhere. Does it have a shrinks with lifespan on it, maybe? I guess I could give it a shrinks with lifespan. That might be interesting. Having it at least shrink at the end of its lifespan. See how it looks. Could also just switch to using round particles and have them spin. I don't know if that would look better. Like Mario. You want to quit work and do this solely. Are you doing development normally? Because is your job software development, I should say. Are you able to switch to like a part-time thing with your job? It'd be quite a lot of extra time. Oh, it's just a float. Okay, so clearly something's modifying this scale, or it's just not getting used. I don't know what capacity would be changing it. Unless we're just not using scale when we're... I know we are using the scale here. I have a feeling that something, maybe an animation system is... I know we're flipping it, but flipping it shouldn't be... It's just multiplying it by like a... I need to find some new music. Let's listen to Sally, maybe. Or is this really low quality? Not really what I'm feeling. Maybe it is. We can listen to this for a moment. You don't have any time left because of work. Mentally exhausting. You work as a construction manager in the field of data sensors and light current systems. Oh, there's probably no chance for like 32 hours or something then. Because just having like an extra day is nice. Shinobi Whirlwind. What is that? I'm googling it. Oh, is it from Shinobi? Like the game. It's like a Super Nintendo game. Sega Genesis. I've never listened to them. I've never played Shinobi. Shinobi Whirlwind. Shinobi 3 Whirlwind. We can listen to it. I've never heard it. Sure, why not? Alright, hang on. Maybe you've made good suggestions. Ooh. I think I might know what the problem is. Do I? This should be returning whatever this returns. Have I missed something here? Registry.inPlace sprite and you pass in a sprite is meant to return you a ref. I feel like I've modified stuff from this before. This is a good song. that was over quick. I like that. I'll just put it on the soundtrack, I guess. This Sega Genesis tracks were onto something. It's like a bit of Theme Hospital, like, trumpets in it. It's nice. Doctor needed an inflation clinic. If the entity has shrinks with lifespan, it's going to get overwritten. Well, no, I just added this now. This was not the cause of the problem. I'm just thinking, like, this add animation should be returning the ref to the sprite, and the thing that I'm modifying here should be having its scale, unless it defaults to 0. Does it default to 0? No, it defaults to 1, which makes sense. I'm just thinking maybe something somewhere else is modifying it, but I don't know what. Looks pretty piddly, doesn't it? Hang on, does the hitbox also change, or is that just the render debug menu thing? Yeah, I do use it, that's what I was thinking. Flipping is multiplying it by 1. 25, 3 degrees. Is that a song in the album? Because I'd rather listen to a whole album at once, ideally. Structors. It's a collection of data and functions. Like a class. Risk of Rain 1 soundtrack. Hang on. Are you based? I love Risk of Rain. Yeah, dude. This was made by like a couple of uni students, right? Like originally, the first one. It's so cool. Really, I think my game is more like Risk of Rain 1 than most of these other things we've been talking about. 2 students, yeah. I love Risk of Rain, dude. We are overwriting it here. Obviously. Ba-boom, ba-boom. Just to see if that really is the problem. The original? Is it the original? It's certainly like a very early one. Oh, you mean like Survivor? You mean like Vampire Survivor thing? Oh shit. Yeah, no, look. The multiplying it by 20 is working. It's the way we're modifying it here is clearly not working. Why is that? I guess maybe the... I was kind of hoping it would just work, but I guess maybe... Because it's a reference. Like, is this just... When we leave the scope, does this... I guess this here only exists for the lifetime... Oh, that shouldn't matter though, should it? Just... Do they standard move when they put stuff in the registry? Do they make a copy? I feel like they'd move it. It's like, maybe the problem here is that this sprite created inline here somehow doesn't exist outside this function definition. You know? Because there's somewhere else we're doing this. When we're spawning particles, that's clearly not working, huh? What's the in place for? Placing within the registry the sprite component upon that entity. I mean, I can like modify it in here, but that's not really what I want to do. Hello, Mr. Jump. Like, add component. I don't know what add component is, but I'm guessing it basically is the same as that, sure. Is that the Unity engine? Or some other language engine thing for this? What am I incrementing here? Very odd. What are we working on? I'm making a flamethrower. Like adding component to an entity. Yeah, it's adding a component to an entity, functionally. That is what it's doing. But obviously the entity doesn't have any data. The registry is the one that holds the data, if that makes sense. That relationship is held within the registry, not on the entity itself. An entity is just a uint, like 32 or something. Or size 2, I don't know. I don't remember. I'm tired. I'm getting a little annoyed by this here isn't working the way I wanted it to. I wonder if I could make this return a pointer instead. If that would work. It does work already, but it doesn't. Did you not just see... Did you not just see me do this? Let me show you again. You weren't watching, that's okay. Just watch this, Donut. Just watch for a moment. Maybe I'm overwriting it afterwards. Look. Here's a bunch of sprites that are really big. It's those that are getting affected. Oh, not the fire. Okay, that's a good thought. Man, look at these huge fucking particles. Yeah, the fire's not getting changed. Okay, let's see. Yeah, it must be that we're overriding it then. Let's see. Why does everyone ask me how long it would take? Like 2 weeks? I don't know anything about you. I've been doing this for a very long time, but you could probably do it faster. 10 years, 20 years, 5 months, 6 weeks, an afternoon. If you went through a degree and then worked for like 7 or 8 years, we'd have a pretty similar level, I guess. Bit of hobbying on the side. Alright, anyway, let's just see what I'm messing with elsewhere. 3 weeks, give or take 10 years. Yeah, that's It seems to have become the most common question, and so I'd like to think people are reading the FAQ and this is just something that isn't in the FAQ. I don't know. Is it useful to know how many years I've spent doing this? I feel like it might just make you not want to start. You could definitely do this sort of thing much sooner than me. Anyway, where am I modifying the scale? Let's just see. VS Code. This is for weapon scale. This is for it shrinking with lifespan. I don't think I am modifying this anywhere else. Really, I just have to be in here. Get angle and scale. Where's this being used? Maybe on update bullet rotation? It's probably this, isn't it? Get angle and scale should be get angle and scale multiplier. Modifier. Yeah. I'm gonna rename it like this. Get scale modifier and angle. Oh, I like this song a lot. Monsoon. It's nice music. Secret reason for it looking like that. I don't know. Oh, this thing. I love F2. I think you're overthinking it, Donut. Ooh. That's not right. Looks sick though. Interesting. Well. Okay, that's definitely multiplying it by 20 now. If you were curious. Interestingly, we are shooting from the bottom of the pixel. Looks normal to you. You think so? What was the problem? That's a great question. We were setting the scale to between -1 and 1 in a bunch of places. And one of those is clearly still not fixed. -1 multiplied by -1. Is that just 1? Oh, wait, -1... No, I can't type in -1 times -1 to the Windows calculator. -1 times -1 is -2. That can't be right. It is 1. Okay, the Windows calculator doesn't understand it. Yeah, that's fine then. Yeah, okay, that's easy enough. Easy enough. I'm just gonna do this. I don't know if I'm still using this other thing, but it's going to be set scale and angle based on 2 positions. I don't know. You know, you get the point, right? So here I'm going to pass in the scale. Hello, Hammer. Hello, Croc. You have a question? Is it going to be about time? I don't know who that is. Sorry. You have a question, Donut? Ask away, buddy. Should have renamed enemy behavior to just enemy at some point, right? A woodchuck could chuck wood. What's the unladen airspeed of a swallow? What was it? What's the airspeed of an unladen swallow? Maximum airspeed? The average airspeed? I don't remember. Moisture deficit? It's not quite right. It's better than it was, though. The fire is very pointy. It seems to be going backwards. Ah, you know why? Because this function doesn't work. A loop. Reminds you of TS 1.6. So I do need to add faster running when you're holding out a knife. Is that what you're saying? Looks normal. Look at that, now the flame has like drag on it, which kind of makes sense. I don't know about the fade out thing. I think maybe the sprite should just be a little bigger even. Ah, perfect. Just as I intended. You guys all listen to music when you're working. You do when you remember to. What do you normally listen to? Let's see if making it hilariously big will improve it. This looks weird. It's weirdly flat at the front. Donkey Kong Country OST is good. Yeah, fading out is not good for this. This is the ASMR you need. Oh yeah, buddy. Risk of Rain soundtrack. Yeah, I don't like this new sprite that much. Yeah, just Toho music. Huh? Wider and flatter with less colors. I agree. I think the colors are going a bit over the board. The bullet sprites look pretty good after all. You're an indie developer? Yes. This looks okay. Doesn't need the tail. Yeah, I'm wondering if I just make it round and give it like random rotations. I don't know. It's quite strong right now. Maybe it's not even that strong. Hey Ted. That's crazy, Boom Bear. You're telling me you've played a game that's exactly like mine? Hope you'd enjoy that. What have you been up to today, Ted? It's better every time you tune in. Thank you. I'm trying. You've been here for 1 minute. That's very quick period of time to make an immediate judgment on the last 6 years of my life, but that's okay. You can do that. Within your right. Yeah, there's not really a good Nuclear Throne clone, I'll be honest. I would love to play more games like the game I'm making. There's like, what? Gungeon? And can you really consider the Binding of Isaac out? You think so, Bimbo? You've got a lot of VODs to catch up on then. I think I'm making the fire too big now. There's a playlist available on this channel, so you can see how it's changed over time. Feel free to skim through the VODs at your discretion. Like the ammo depletion. Oh yeah. The moment I start adding something like that though, it invites thoughts of balance, which I'm currently trying to avoid too much of, at least. think I'm making it worse, by the way. Whatever, I'm just gonna leave it for now. We need to make particles for when something gets hit by fire. It was 42, right? 44. When am I going to release it? Probably when it's done. I don't have a time period in mind. How long have I been a developer? Like 20 years or something? It's amazing how little you can get done in that much time, right? I don't really know how the fire hit will look, so I'm just going to make a bunch of like little sparks. I'm thinking like as you're shooting this, it should spawn off a bunch of little sparks that don't do damage, but it just adds to like the size of the gun. Hello, Swagger the King. Hope you've had a blessed day. Making graphics is a good way to learn how to make graphics. I'm definitely no master at it, but I've definitely gotten better. If you were to skim through these old VODs, you can see that I'm somehow even worse at it than... Pretty impressive. This might be too much density in one sprite. We'll have some of them be a bit more basic, maybe. And then some of them be a bit more complicated. Because it'll pick one of them and... Actually, we're gonna animate, aren't we? Maybe this is okay, actually. I'm a bit wary of adding too much pixel density on, like, a random spark. But we'll see how it looks, I guess. The art style's consistent. I guess so. Okay. I am adding the pixels. I'm pretty proud of the guns. I don't know, what do you think? I think the like shotgun look cool. Rocket launcher looks pretty cool. Flamethrower we made earlier today. I think for someone who's not really art inclined, I've done an alright job. It's a demanding career. It's not my career. I'm a software engineer. I have work in 7.5 hours. Sorry, I don't have work 7.5 hours. I have to get up for work in 7.5 hours. This is something I do in my free time. That sounds early. Yeah, I'm not working at 6:30, but I need to get up around then. I don't know what's going to look good for the fire sparks, so let's just experiment with something. My company did not fire people when AI came out, though. I work at a pretty good place. don't know anyone that's lost their job to AI yet. Actually, I don't know anyone. I live in Europe, so it's a lot harder to fire people for this sort of thing. Oh, the music end. Oh no, the music isn't ended yet. You need less devs. No, you don't need less devs. You need more devs, or at least the same number. They're just... The only thing that seems to have changed right now is the speed at which you have to do stuff at work. Before, you'd be expected to do something in some amount of time, but now the amount of time has dropped. So you do more work in the same amount of time. Which isn't really better, I'd say. Better for the company, maybe. That's where I work. I mean, I'm sure it's different in different places. There's a lot of big American corporations that are firing people like they always do because they overhired over COVID. And they're using AI as an excuse, but the reality was they hired 3 times the staff they needed because COVID made it seem like the industry was going one way. And then when things sort of shifted afterwards, it turns out that a lot of these teams didn't need 10,000 developers in the first place. You guys need to be nice to each other. World's a harsh place. YouTube comments section is not a good place to argue. You need to be kind to each other. Have you had a mentor? Spread kindness. Spread kindness and also the cold. If you have a cold, I recommend going on the train. I've had mentors at my current company, but no, early on in my career I didn't have one, and I really could have used one. The first, I don't know, good few years of my career was spent in either very small teams or functionally by myself in a bigger team, and I would have learned a lot if I had a senior mentor sooner, but oh well. What game am I making? Look in the description. Look. All of you can have a look in the description for an FAQ. There's lots of information. I am now going to spawn some fire particles. Let me have a think for a moment. In our collision system, oh, I'm using VS Code, by the way, if you're wondering. Let's have a look. Where are all these places we're spawning various particles? Wall destroy, that's one spot. Hey Tom, I'm doing okay, how are you? I'm using Windows, because I also use this PC for playing Apex Legends, which doesn't run on Linux anymore. Or the anti-cheat doesn't work on Linux anymore, I guess. There we go. C++ syntax is worse than you thought it is. It might just be my way of writing it. I'm sure you can find a nice, neat and tidy one somewhere. Alright, this is not quite right. Not quite there yet. Ah. Develops apps and websites. Not websites. I work in embedded, so I work on little tiny computers. Not much memory. I worked as a mobile developer for quite a few years there, so I have plenty of experience in Android and iOS and stuff. Getting a bit warm in bed? Hell yeah, Bowser. I'm okay, otherwise. I'm gonna grab this stuff. You had any good grinds lately, Bowser, in OSRS? This looks pretty good, like when the fire hits the wall. Maybe I don't want it to shrink quite so much. Something like this. That should look pretty good. I'm thinking of giving them a better mean speed. Mean speed of 0 is not so exciting, but maybe if I start letting them fly around it might look a bit more exciting. I don't know what Valio is. How was the mobile dev experience? Varied. Let me think. There's a lot of interesting stuff in mobile development. Like, it's quite exciting to be able to make something like Twitter in like an afternoon and then realize how basic most programs really are. But then again, having to deal with Apple and Google sucks. Like, often you want to do something, but over time you end up memorizing a bunch of random little things that changed between iOS and Android versions, and some things that are forced on and forced off, and manufacturing difference within Android is a hellscape. Like, knowing that OnePlus phones behave differently to Samsung, behave differently to Pixel, and oh yeah, you can't do it on this phone, and good god, if you ever want to do anything with one of the onboard sensors, like the step sensor, don't even bother. Flamethrower is pretty cool, right? I think it needs to spawn a lot more particles though, right? Let's just spawn like 10 in a splash and make them move at speed of 3 and last a bit longer. You make car wipers. I do not make car wipers, no. But that sounds fun. If you make them move a bit more slowly, they'll look like fire. The problem with making them too slow is they'll start moving really slow when you walk backwards. This looks pretty interesting. The colors are way off. Do you think the colors I've used on the particles when it hits the wall looks more like fire than the particles that you're shooting? Because I could just make it so the particles you're shooting look like these ones that you hit on the floor. Making them slow down over time might be a good idea. I could do that. Yeah, they inherit your speed. You see, if I move forwards, you can see some of them, they move a little weirdly. Which is actually how they work in TF2, funnily enough. You can kind of shoot fire forwards with Pyro Mojo. Yeah, I like the colors on the wall more as well. Hey Harrison. I mean, it's as simple as doing this, right? I can just take this, save it for later, and then well, That's roughly centered, right? Ish. And then I can say, well, we just leave it in for now. I might make it spin smaller and spawn more. The problem with spawning more is like I can do that, but it starts to get more and more expensive, huh? Yeah, the scary music's good. So I can make it so they tumble a bit. I'm not too happy with them. I think they're going too small. Which I can fix quite easily. I kind of prefer it to be a little bit bigger as well. Something like this. Whoops. Why does this not work anymore? Whatever. I'm thinking of making it like tumble in the air, basically. Oh, adding drag would not be terribly hard. That would not be difficult. I don't know, something like that. We can keep adjusting this stuff like until our teeth fall out. So let me think for a moment. In our factory, let's try 7 of these. Let's make them pretty quick. 1 5, 1 5. 6 is fine. So sprite rotation, angular velocity. How am I using it right now? Rotating sprite. I don't know if I can just straight up add this in place. Hey, don't worry, Ted. I've got stuff in place for this sort of thing already. But thank you. It wouldn't be too hard to add. I don't know. Then 3. Something like this. I don't know if I need to. I don't know if this will work. I'll be honest. If the sprite right now is also moving along with its velocity, or its well, yeah, it has an angle to it. I don't know if the random spin thing is just going to be overwritten. Might make the range a little bigger, and I might make that random thing a little bit less exciting. Standard uniform real distribution. Am I misusing you? You're a uniform real distribution. Ah, I'm stupid, maybe. Shouldn't it be more like you want to distribute towards 1, and I want it to be like this? Good music. Wait, at the end of this album is like a whole commentary. That's crazy. Okay, no, I was... Oh, okay, maybe it's actually more like this then. I didn't think that's how this worked. I thought you said the number that it should be around and then how much it could be modified by, like the size of the standard distribution curve. Not true. Maybe that's not true. Uniform and normal. Oh fuck, is it? I thought this was a normal, isn't it? Oh, it's uniform. This is why I was getting confused. Give me a normal real distribution. Is that a thing? Yeah, sorry, I was using the wrong thing, yeah. In which case I do want you to be around 1. And then I want the size of the standard deviation curve to be like this or something. Put real to differentiate from the inversion, yeah. Harrison, sorry. Oh, that looks way better now, don't know. Is it too big maybe? I don't know. I feel like it's not doing... It's not going as invisible as it was before, which is maybe correct. Doesn't look too bad there. I think the alpha should be, by default, a little smaller. I don't know what that is, Minus, but hello. Does it not? Sprite alpha modifier. Oh, here we go. Something like this. Looks powerful. CBT. Ah. Very good, buddy. Very good. Let's have a look. Wow. Might be a bit much. I mean, all the guns are a bit powerful, I guess. Hang on, let me see. Spawn a max enemies level. I can give them their guns as well. Their guns have been turned off this whole time. I could also give the mice flamethrowers, legally speaking. Frame rate's suffering like a little bit with these particles. I think I'd like them to be a bit more transparent as well. Maybe this is an appropriate time to kill, actually. Each one does about 1 damage. And they have 10 health. The hitboxes also seem to be randomizing correctly, I think. Or it's just drawing it correctly. At least. That's a lot of mice. Maybe too many mice. Yeah, the game has started having a few more frame rate issues since I started adding 1 trillion particles to everything. That's true. Oh, we haven't added weapon penetration yet, or bullet penetration. So the flamethrower actually gets blocked by the mouse in front. To me, at least, it feels like the flamethrower should probably go through, but maybe that's just my TF2 brain. Do you think flames should be blocked by the guy in front? Because that is how fire works. Like, it does get blocked by stuff. It's pretty normal. Maybe I should come up with a better muzzle flash for this thing as well, because this cross looks a little silly. The muzzle flash could be like a little fire being made, by the way. If I had another, was it 32? 16? Oh, good tune. Listening to the Risk of Rain soundtrack was a great idea. Thank you for the suggestion. It's now playing like an hour-long audio album. Let's put on some other music. That was lovely. That was great music. Is there Risk of Rain 2 music? There must be. I think I like the soundtrack in the first one more though, but we can listen to the second one too. It's also very good. Like it's a good soundtrack, but I don't know. Maybe it's better? I don't know. It's kind of hard to say better with this sort of thing, isn't it? I like both. Clap's even more. It's really good. Yeah. It's definitely like a big part of the atmosphere in the game. Pom, pom, pom. Makes me want to play it. That's a good soundtrack. Was it always this high quality? Don't know how this is gonna look. We'll find out. Oh. Well, something was off. Yeah, this is a bit organized for a fire. Is that better? Maybe it's better. I like fire muzzle flash. Something different. We should get that rotation working. Alright, good enough for now. Let's make it so when something's on fire, it's a bit hard to see when you're not moving. Yeah, that's fine. It's fine for now. Like, I have something in place that I can modify in the future. I want to, I don't want to start doing particle emitters yet, but I would like to make it so something... I just have no muzzle flash. I'm just going to leave it for now. I want to make it so you can hit something and it will be on fire. So... let's do that. The bullet is not actually on fire, maybe. Or we could have on fire. I guess the bullet is on fire. Yeah, okay. Well, whatever. I'm going to say, for now, to be lazy, when we're drawing our 2D actors, and we normally adjust these components, after bin. Very good, Donut, very good. An entity is on fire. Then just temporarily while we're debugging things, I'm going to tint them orange. Do we have like a fire brick? That probably doesn't look good. Let's go with chocolate. There must be like an orange, right? Orange, red. Let's do orange red. This will obviously override whatever behavior we have underneath for the debug menu. So be it. Because realistically what we'd actually be doing is spawning fire particles and stuff. So, in our physics, or is it in our collision system? When bullets hit an entity with health, we do damage to it. If it's a rocket, we're doing explosions. We're going to say... Starting to get into a weird looking switch statement here, so it might be worth refactoring. Send console message. Do we need to send a console message to like send something on fire? More particles. Set on fire. Yeah, let's do that. I'm gonna make a new thing called set on fire and entity. And then we can add in some other information here in the future. Like how long. Oh, we can have that already, I guess. We can also have damage over time, I guess. The source is called Ignite. That's cool. Total duration. And frequency. And damage. Damage per burn. And actually, realistically, all this information will be on the on fire. Ignited. I like Ignited. It's very Full Metal Alchemist. We can go with Ignite, actually. That sounds very Full Metal Alchemist. Obviously right now everything gets ignited the moment it's hit once. Maybe that's not the best way to do it later on, but it'll be fine for now. Need to build first, I guess. Two's an if statement, three's a switch. You're not here, on fire. Yeah, you're not on fire. And then our render actor system, it should complain. Yeah. So now in our game, I think, when we're iterating over our variant, it should be complaining. It should be okay here to do that. Should be about as simple as that, I think. Crash. Oh no, he's just on fire. I'm gonna just work. Okay, it did crash. Hold on. Set already contains entity. You can't set something onto fire twice. That's crazy. Is there in place or replace? Yeah, let's do that. This is what I was thinking about when we were talking about entity component system originally. The ability to do this kind of thing. Like all these mice are on fire now, technically. Even if the sprites aren't doing anything. So I need to have a system somewhere that handles that. I might just shove it in culling system for now. Re-entity with health. Somewhere in here I'm maybe doing damage. Current health is less than. Excluding the player. How does countdown work again? Oh, it has to be a time float, not a time float duration. My bad. Hmm. It's ignoring the trigger, by the way. 5 frames. Where? Do I have to call remove? Like, do I have to check if it exists or not? Or will it crash if it doesn't actually have that component? I think it's okay, right? Probably should have something for this unvuln time thing. You want to use countdown loop to make sure the interval is consistent even when it doesn't fall to a minute too. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we definitely need a health.deal damage component, like function somewhere. It's your count so you can loop in case there are multiple damage ticks and attacks. Does this just return something and I just auto, yeah. Well, actually, for the finished thing, I think this was okay. It's really this one. Count between burn damage should be the second argument. How does countdown loop work? Oh. Oh, did this reset it for you? Okay, that makes sense. This does mean it only is going to do damage to the first one, so I should move the if outside. I don't know what a loop is. Yeah, that makes sense. If you've somehow skipped, I think you should take 2 ticks of burn damage if that somehow skips. That kind of makes sense, doesn't it? I guess if it doesn't... No, it should have a transform. Why wouldn't it? Things to bite myself with. So now you should periodically see stuff take damage and like spawn some particles. Maybe. What header do I need for time? It's because I need to maybe do this. No. It was duration, yeah. Hey look, do you see it? They are taking damage over time. It's kind of hard to see because the sprites are so small. But they were taking damage over time. Hang on a moment. Let's make a new one called Fire Splash Big. Also make them spawn in a square position. Do I have a way in here of did I write an instruction to change the size? No. Well, I'll leave it for now. I was considering also setting up like walls being on fire, but maybe not today. Check this out. You see that shit? They're taking damage over time. Pretty strong though. The firefly should draw on top. Yeah, I haven't implemented that yet. As soon as that's working, it will look very good, I'm sure. Isn't this sick? I might actually leave something like the tinting in the game, actually. It's kind of nice to be able to see at a glance if something's on fire. I was going to make it so it periodically just spawns in a fire particle over time. Just to show that they are on fire, but maybe showing this is good enough. I feel like I need a bigger particle for this, maybe. I don't know. Pretty strong. Looking great, thanks dude. That makes a bit more sense, doesn't it? Isn't that cool? I think that's perfect. That's a perfect amount of work for today. Next time we can maybe work a bit more on the flamethrower and the fires and stuff. I'd like to be able to have some kind of particle emitter, so like when you like shoot fire at a wall, maybe it should leave some fire like on the floor nearby that just burns for like a little bit. It might look nice. Make it obvious, you know. Yeah, I was thinking about like fire spread earlier. It also probably shouldn't like immediately set stuff on fire like this in one hit, but for now it's fun. Looks good, doesn't it? I'd also kind of like to make these particles like run around a bit more randomly, because they're not right now, but whatever. Finally, my digging game. Look, there's an air blast that doesn't do anything. This is cool. Look, you can finally play as the pirate. Squiggle. Yeah, I think adding random trajectory would be fine. It's not implemented right now, or at least it's not working. It's kind of implemented. But I want to have them like rotate as they spin through the air, and by just offsetting the sprite, I can make them spin through the air. Like weirdly, which will look pretty cool, I think. Yeah, I just saw an extra particle get spawned somewhere weird. It might not be somewhere weird, it might just be the random spread occasionally spawning it weirdly. You know how you said before it was very unlikely to see random spread trigger like that? I don't know. Look, maybe when we occasionally see a rocket spawn somewhere weird, it's just because the mean distribute or the standard distribution curve is spawning a rocket somewhere weird. That's what I'm actually thinking like right now. If I sit here long enough, I think you do just occasionally see one spawn somewhere really weird. It just takes a while. Might be the way you're buffering. It's also possible to do with the buffering, because I've seen it a lot to do when I'm doing like weapon switching, which is when like that comes into a play. I don't know if you saw the start of the stream, by the way, but I changed weapon switching, so switching away is always pretty quick. It's like a static time to switch away, and it's only pulling the weapon out that's based on the mass, which I think feels pretty good. And then I made it a bit slower, so like pulling out a heavy thing is now about the same amount of time as before, but the like animation wise, it feels like you're putting away your gun a bit faster. It just feels better. So if you have like a sniper rifle and like a little pistol, you can quickly pull out your revolver like this. Pop-on. Ka-chom. Instead of having to wait the very long animation for you to pull out your sniper rifle. But the actual switch to time is still nice and long. Which I think is good. I think it's nice to incentivize both. I'll have to see like just how it feels in gameplay. It might just be annoying as fuck and I might just turn it off and make it so every gun comes out instantly, but I kind of like the idea of there being, even if it's minor, like, because most of the time you just be running around with your main weapon, right? I like the idea that there is a use for the weak weapons in a game, even if that use is pretty minor. Just being like, oh yeah, the revolver's not as strong anymore, but you can switch to it instantly, so that's pretty good. Oh, look. Now you can be the pyro, finally. It's actually not a bad combo. They kind of do the same thing there. I think variable draw time's interesting. Be the soldier. Because like I feel like there's a reason to like not want to pull out the rocket launcher. But then quickly have like a quick shotgun to switch to. My main thought was like, if you have a sniper rifle, it's nice to have something like the dagger as your secondary, because you can basically immediately attack with it. So if something's coming up right next to you, you can just go ba-bum. You just quickly like ult with it. Anyway, I was thinking of making it so you can attach stuff like ignited to certain weapons. So you could have like an ignited dagger, so the dagger deals like set stuff on fire. That could be cool. That could be an upgrade. Finally, we're starting to see the roguelike elements of the game. Also, I feel like this this new ground that I drew to show where you destroyed tiles, they've kind of grown on me. I might just leave them for now. You see this kind of like rougher, dark, bluish, blobby bit? This one only appears if you are destroying walls. Yeah, normally the level's pretty smooth, but then as you break walls, you get like this sort of more rough texture. I think it's grown on me. Fire bullet upgrade. Yeah, I think that sort of thing's really fun, right? Being able to maybe set shit on fire. And it starts with making a flamethrower. I will say it's spawning at the wrong place, like it's spawning at position. Let me get my Trello up. Let's write some stuff. Make it so you could make the dagger or any weapon be ignitable. Fix spawn position of... Well, I don't know if it's broken actually. It should be spawning in a square. But maybe it's okay. You just can't see it because the sprites are underneath. The particles underneath the sprites. What did I say? Oh. Particle emitter. Make it, investigate bullet buffering. Yeah, sure. What was I gonna say? Fire... Oh, they give you an option to like split something off into a new thing if it's getting too long. Interesting. What was I saying before you did that? Oh. When fire hit wall, spawn emitting fire for 10 seconds or something. Entities on fire should constantly emit a little fire or something. What else? Having the dagger upgrade would kind of be the first steps to having roguelike upgrades. Oh, stuff shouldn't instantly catch fire. It should have a chance and a build-up bucket. So the idea would be like, the more you hit something with fire, the let me get my paint up. Like an enemy would have like this bucket that's by default empty. But as you hit them with a fire particle, it fills up the bucket a bit. And then you roll a dice, which picks a number randomly in the bucket. It's like, okay, they won't get set on fire. Or, okay, looks like they got set on fire on the first hit. But, you know, if not, then the bucket gets filled up again, again, and again. And eventually, you're going to roll to ignite them, and then the bucket doesn't matter. And I think over time, the bucket would drain. Scorched trails. Yeah, I was thinking about that with this, basically. But you can't see my Trello, but I'll write that down in particular. Let me just write down my build-up bucket idea. Bucket is a fills every time hit by a ignitable object. Drains over time. Every time hit by ignitable object roll a % chance to be ignited based on how full the bucket is. Easy game. Alright, I don't remember how you do it, but you're currently choosing whether or not to spawn a bullet after they've already been added to bullets to fire. That's probably moved to before. Maybe. I'll look at that tomorrow or whatever. I'm quite tired. I have work. So, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the stream today. We made fire. Isn't that fun? I'm gonna head off and out there. Thanks for watching. See ya. Bye-bye. Good night.